In a lush garden filled with blooming flowers and buzzing bees, a tiny caterpillar named Cora crawled happily along a bright green leaf. One sunny morning, Cora felt something strange. She was curious. She wriggled toward a mysterious flower with shimmering petals that sparkled like tiny stars. As she ventured inside, she discovered something incredible, a shimmering library glowing with rainbow colors. Cora's eyes widened as she saw books floating on sparkling shelves, each one filled with wonderful letters and vibrant pictures. The first book she opened had big, bold letters, A, B, C. As she touched the pages, the letters shimmered and changed colors, red, blue, yellow, creating a rainbow of letters before her eyes. Suddenly, a gentle voice whispered, "Welcome, Cora. This is the library of letters and colors. Here, you'll discover the magic of words and the beauty of hues." Cora twitched her tiny antennae in excitement. She wanted to learn everything. She learned that A is for apple, which is bright red like a fire truck. B is for butterfly, with wings that shimmer in blue and orange. Each letter had its own special color and story. As she turned more pages, Cora found other books about numbers, shapes, and even hidden secrets of colors in the garden, like how yellow sunflowers dance under the sun or how purple violets bloom shyly in the shade. Cora realized that each letter and color was part of a bigger story, just like her journey of becoming a beautiful butterfly someday. She understood that learning about letters and colors helps us understand the world around us and express ourselves with words and hues. When it was time to leave, the shimmering library gently closed its glowing doors, but Cora carried what she had learned in her heart. She wiggled back onto her leaf, eager to tell her friends about the magical world of letters and colors she had found inside that special flower. And from that day on, Cora knew that curiosity leads us to wonderful discoveries and that learning can be the most colorful adventure of all. The end. Remember, every new thing you learn adds a splash of color to your own story. To the birds singing overhead. But one summer, the river began to run low and gray, and Lily worried because the fish seemed sad, and the water no longer sparkled as it used to. One evening, Lily sat by the river bank, thinking hard. She remembered stories her grandma told her about how trees drink water from the earth and help keep the water clean. That's when an idea bloomed in her mind, a circle of trees around the river. She imagined a ring of mighty oaks, willows, and maples, standing tall to protect the water and shade the fish. The next day, Lily ran to her town and gathered her friends. "Let's plant a ring of trees around the river," she told them with bright eyes. The children cheered and helped her dig holes along the banks. Over the weeks, they planted saplings, watering them carefully and caring for them daily. As the trees grew taller, they created shade that cooled the river, helped filter pollution, and gave birds and insects a home. Lily also taught her friends and neighbors why saving the river was so important. They learned how trees hold soil in place, prevent floods, and keep the water clear. Soon, the town organized Watershed Day, where everyone cleaned up trash and celebrated their growing forest. Years passed, and the trees became thick and strong. The river ran clearer and fuller than in a long time, and Lily's circle of trees reminded everyone that even one brave girl's idea can make a big difference. From that day on, the town took extra care of its watershed, knowing that small acts of kindness, like planting trees, can protect nature and ensure the river's magic flows for generations. And Lily? She smiled every time she saw her tree ring shining in the sun, a symbol of courage, care, and hope. The end. And so the lesson is, when we nurture nature, nature nurtures us right back, creating a world where everyone can thrive. The chalkboard began to glow and whisper, "Come close, little explorer. I'll teach you about numbers and shapes." Suddenly, vibrant shapes danced onto the board. Circles spun happily around, squares strutted confidently, and triangles tilted playfully. The story unfolded. Numbers are like friends. One sun in the sky, two birds singing, three flowers blooming. When you count, you see the world in terms of friends. Next, the chalkboard displayed shapes, explaining, circles are round like wheels, squares are four equal sides like boxes, and triangles are pointy at the top like rooftops. The tiny boat listened eagerly as the chalkboard shared a tale of a brave number 5 who wanted to find friends with matching shapes. Together, they played a game of matching shapes to numbers, learning that each number has its own special shape to go with. As the story reached its end, the chalkboard shimmered brighter. It said, "Remember, little ones, whether it's numbers or shapes, everyone has a place and a purpose. When you understand and appreciate them, you can see the magic in everything around you." With a gentle twinkle, the chalkboard turned back into a floating storybook. The tiny boat, filled with newfound knowledge, glided happily back across the pond, ready to discover even more adventures. And from that day on, whenever the children saw shapes or heard numbers, they remembered the story of the tiny boat and the gleaming chalkboard, teaching them that curiosity and friendship make learning an adventure. Across, a gust tossed him gently into the air, but Sammy remembered his friend Lily the owl's advice: "Whenever you're scared, take a deep breath and look at the beautiful sky." Sammy paused, looked up, and admired the bright colors of the sunset. Feeling calmer, he continued, reaching the Meadow of Miracles, where he saw flowers that glowed like stars and streams that giggled as they flowed. Sammy realized that trying something new might be scary, but it also opened the door to wonderful surprises. When Sammy shared his adventure, all his friends cheered. He learned that being brave doesn't mean not feeling scared, it means doing what you're afraid of anyway, and discovering how amazing the world can be. And from that day on, Sammy never hesitated to explore a new path, knowing that every step, brave or nervous, led to the most beautiful journeys. The end. What's special is the way the sunlight dances on the water, creating magic every day. Inspired, Sammy set off on a new adventure, this time towards the distant mountains. Along the way, he learned from buzzing bees about how flowers rely on bees for pollination, and from a busy ant colony about teamwork and helping each other carry heavy loads. With each discovery, Sammy's understanding of the world grew brighter and richer. Finally, reaching the mountains, Sammy saw the source of the crystals, glittering rocks embedded in the rocks high above. He marveled at the beauty of nature's secrets and realized that everything has a story, and that learning makes life more colorful. When Sammy returned home, he shared his adventures with all his friends, reminding them that curiosity and kindness lead to wonderful discoveries. The forest echoed with laughter and new questions, and Sammy felt happy knowing that his quest had made him wiser and more compassionate. The lesson: the world is full of wonders waiting to be uncovered. Curiosity and teamwork help us learn and grow, turning everyday moments into magical adventures.